Hello, folks. My name is Daniel Vincent McGonigle III. I'm an instructor at Camp Constitution, a week-long summer family camp program. Their website is campconstitution.net. I've edited an important book titled Execute the Laws to Restore the Republic, published by Camp Constitution Press, an arm of Camp Constitution. Regarding the book, there's a Facebook page, Execute the Laws to Restore the Republic, and then there's a website under construction, executethelaws.com. I'm with two longtime professors at Camp Constitution. To my right, Pastor Garrett Lear, and to my left, Reverend Stephen Kraft. Pastor Lear and Reverend Kraft are going to contribute some fine scholarship to another Execute the Laws forthcoming volume of mine centered on duty, morality, and the common defense of rights to life, liberty, and property. Pastor Lear, please tell the viewers a little about your involvement with and your vision for Camp Constitution.
Well, Dan, a number of years ago, I met Al Shurtleff speaking at different events that I was invited to speak at, and also John McManus, and we got into discussing working with younger people, trying to mentor younger people and, let's say, pass along a vision to our posterity. That wonderful word, I think.
Yes.
And so actually Hal asked, he said, well, would you be interested in participating in Camp Constitution, come up and teach a class? And I said, sure. And particularly I said I would be willing. Because I was feeling the need much more in my own life to be, I would say over the years of pastoring, I've had an opportunity to pastor a lot of different people, but it just seemed to me that at this stage of my life, I really wanted to be more intentional about ministering to younger people, mentoring them, knowing that the challenge for them today is really huge. I mean, the fact that the media that they're involved in, and of course many of them that go to government schools, and they're hearing things that are not true. So I said, how do we offset that? And I recognize that, and I've been involved in YMCA camps, I've spoken in many different kinds of camps, Christian camps and whatever. But it never was there a time where there was a concentration on just anything other than Christianity and the Bible, which, I mean, certainly that's wonderful, but this was a combination that I thought was excellent. It was a little bit more my heart's desire. Strong Christian biblical teaching, but also strong teaching about our foundational documents and the Declaration and the Constitution. So I said, sure, I'm all about that. Be glad to come. And let's just say, and I just experienced a tremendous blessing coming up here. So I've been coming up for a number of years. And now the vision is to be able to not only have Camp Constitution here locally in Rindge, New Hampshire, but that all of us who want to, if you will pardon the expression, take it on the road, there's the three of us and others too, so that others can participate in other parts of the country.
Thank you. Reverend Kraft, please tell the viewers about your t-shirt, the dynamic duo, your involvement with and your vision for Camp Constitution.
First thing, let me give a disclaimer. I'm not responsible for this t-shirt,
Okay.
but I wear it with godly pride. But I'm not responsible. So tell all the viewers, don't hold it against me. I had nothing to do with it. I looked up last year, and it popped out of nowhere. There it was. I don't know how it got here, but every time I look at it, it warms my soul.
Who are the dynamic duo?
You're looking at him.
Okay.
He's the big one. He's Big Dynamo, and I'm his co-partner.
Okay.
In the gospel, in truth, no king, but King Jesus. And basically, I've been coming up since 2010. Brother Shirtliff and I, we go way back to John Birch Society. And in 2010, he asked me to come up and be one of the featured speakers every year. So I've been coming up 2010, 2011, 2012. This is my 4th camp. I come up, I stay up all week, basically teaching on 2 important topics from a theological perspective. America's godly heritage, which, like Pastor Lear said, lays our true history and our true foundation in a Judeo-Christian foundation. And then the moral American. What is Judeo-Christian morality? What does it look like? What is a moral American versus an immoral American? Because today, Brother McDonald, we have a lot of people that say, the American people want blah, 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 or the American people desire, or the American people demand such and such from their government. But the question really should be, which set of American people are you referring to? Are you referring to the American people that are Americanists, that love their country because they love God and they want to serve their country by serving God? Or are you talking about the American people that hate God and have nothing to do with God and want to turn this country into a Marxist, socialist, anti-Christ country which God will have to destroy? So we have to clarify our terms to discover what American people we're talking about. And like Pastor Lear said, reaching the young people is critical.
Yes.
Because they are our posterity. And one of the burdens on my heart, I've been trying for the last 4 years. I have not had much success in it, but I've basically just said, Lord, I'm giving it back to you. You're sovereign. You're going to have to do it. I've tried for 4 years without a whole lot of visible success. And that is to see more kids, more ethnic kids, come to these camps. You know, I've even talked to the camp director about scholarships, and he's been gracious and said, yeah, we'll give 2 scholarships, Reverend Kraft, if you can get some ethnic kids from the ethnic churches to come. I've said it out there, and that doesn't even work, because there is such a willful ignorance about what constitutes America, that when you try to get them, even when you're offering it free, so-called, they still don't want to buy into it because they have brought into these secular and these Marxist lies. So that's something that I want our viewers to understand, that taking Camp Constitution outside of the perimeters of Rindge, New Hampshire for 1 week during the first week of July each year, we must believe God for a vision that we can take Camp Constitution nationally, that God will make a way, because where God guides, God always provides. God always gives provision according to His purpose for our lives. And we know that God has given us the purpose to be watchmen on the wall, to cry aloud for righteousness' sake, to spare not, to show the people their sins, and to call them back to repentance and call them back to true faith in the only true and living God. So, yes, Mr. McGonigle, it is my prayer and my vision that God will make ways, God will open doors for Camp Constitution to go national.
Would you like to add anything to that, Pastor?
I would, and I like the focus that Reverend Kraft is bringing to the idea, using the terminology to bring in different ethnicities. I think the problem today, many people are saying, well, actually, Christian America and a constitutional republic and so forth is strictly white.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
That's a lie.
Never was.
Never was.
And never will be.
Right.
Because the whole idea of e pluribus unum, one from many,
Mm-hmm.
which is really a biblical concept. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, what ethnicities will you expect to find in heaven?
All of them.
All of them, every single one of them.
That's
So
right.
the issue is, we may have to go, and obviously, maybe many ethnicities, so to speak, don't find it all that comfortable in the hills of New Hampshire and Rindge. I know lots of people who live in New Hampshire wouldn't come up here.
Right.
This is the country way out of their comfort zone, so we'll bring Camp Constitution to them. The issue is not the venue.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is what's being taught.
Right.
Yes.
And see, the thing, you know, particularly from my own perspective, and I know this is the way that Brother Kraft feels as well, is that there are young people that are being robbed. I mean, we know it's the enemy's way. John 10:10, the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy, but the Lord has come to give life and more abundantly. So we have many young people. They're going to grow up. What are they going to be? Are they going to grow up and be lawyers and doctors and teachers and legislators and butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers and preachers and everything else? Yeah, they are. But what are they going to be teaching? And so if we do not decisively and intentionally bring those things to them in their venue, they're not going to know what to do when they grow up. And if you were to go to 1 Chronicles chapter 12, where there's a verse in there that talks about that the sons of Issachar were wise men and they knew what Israel should do. Well, many of our young people don't know what to do. They're going to know what to do when they grow up. That's going to be up to us. And I know that sounds a little bit of an ego statement, but us, hey, we'll take the responsibility. We're grandpas, right? We patriarchs will go out and speak to posterity wherever that they are. And I believe that,
Our posterity.
yeah, and that they recognize we're riding on this boat together. We don't want this boat to sink. If this boat sinks, we all sink. And as I've said to people, you know, it's like you're out off of shore, way off of shore, the ocean's pretty cold here. You don't want people drilling holes in this boat. If this boat sinks, you better be a good swimmer. And let me tell you something, you swim in cold water, and I'm a good swimmer. I've been swimming all my life. I'm a certified dive master and everything else. You get dropped out in the cold Atlantic Ocean, you'll find out what muscle cramp is, and you might not be able to swim to shore, so don't mess the boat up. Don't drill holes in it. So we're going to take this ship all over the country.
Folks, these are two of the top professors at Camp Constitution, longtime professors here. And be sure to check out the website, campconstitution.net, which has a publishing arm. And I'm starting to write and publish on the very important end and purpose of government, the common defense of rights to life, liberty, and property. Thank you very much.